You're listening to Curious Cat, the podcast that examines the shadowy space where science and the supernatural collide. I'm your host, Jennifer Holtz. Join me every week as I explore what it means to be a soul in a meat suit. Welcome to Curious Cat. I know December is long gone, but the angels keep coming forward. One of the most persistent is Archangel Raguel. I'd heard the name. I have even done a show dedicated to him in season 4, but somehow I'd forgotten him and that until this week. What struck me is that he can help out with organization. And my personal number for this year is 4, which is all about organization, clearing out the old to make room for the new. This angel is like a trip to the Container Store and binging a Marie Kondo series, but it's free and only takes about a half an hour. He's also the one to call in to work out relationship woes and sticks up for those suffering injustice. I hope you enjoy this deep dive into a special angel. Let's get into it. Raguel is named in the Book of Enoch. He's known best as the angel of justice, fairness, and harmony. He's often depicted holding a judge's gavel, which expresses his desire to right the injustices in the world, ensuring good triumphs over evil. If you're wondering what Raguel is thought to look like, well, that's personal, isn't it? I picture him as resembling The Witcher, if you're familiar with that series on Netflix. Strong jawline, long silvery hair, muscular. Some sources describe Raguel as being a strong, majestic warrior, and I noticed in all the descriptions I read, he is depicted as being a male energy. By the way, a fresh source for me, angelicroots.com, says his name, Raguel, also means friend of God. Find the links to their site in the show notes. I think it's intriguing. They write this about Raguel. He is often called upon to bring peace and order to chaotic situations. Raguel is believed to help resolve conflicts, promote fairness, and restore balance in relationships. He is believed to help individuals find resolution in disputes, whether it's to be in personal relationships or larger conflicts. He works behind the scenes as the peacemaker, his divine energy bringing in empathy and mutual respect. They continue, Archangel Raguel is associated with the color pale blue and the number 6. He doesn't resonate with a particular element, but can wield power between all of them: air, fire, earth, and water. He has been known to use the elemental properties of snow and ice as they cool down heated emotions and help us to see with clarity. If you notice the number 6 in repeated sequences, which I have this week, or if the color pale blue, check that box for me too, is often in your awareness, Archangel Raguel may be making his presence known. Well, I have to interrupt this for a moment because I've been dreaming in the color light blue this last week, and the number 6 has come up multiple times. And while I sit in the quiet and research Raguel, it is snowing out the windows. A great horned owl is tucked into a nearby tree, pulling at puffs in the nape of his chest, and then settling into a nap on this gentle winter day. I love the affirmations I received about Raguel, but back to angelic roots. Connecting with Archangel Raguel can be done through meditation or simply calling upon him for guidance when seeking peace and resolution in your life. Crystals such as aquamarine, larimar, amazonite, and kunzite can be connected with his energy to amplify your clarity, line with him, make the line clear with him, and help you speak your truth. Archangel Raguel is a powerful and benevolent angel who can help bring justice, harmony, and balance into your life. By opening yourself up to his energy, you may find the clarity and resolution you seek. Remember, you are never alone, and the archangels are always ready to assist you on your spiritual journey. You just need ask. I love that they are reminding us to call on the angels. They need that in order to assist because our free will is sovereign over all. And my guides are pushing me to also repeat that they want us to ask and ask often. They aren't keeping track of the frequency of our requests. I promise they're delighting in that connection with you. It's no wonder on many fronts why Archangel Raguel is so important to me right now. It's been a difficult 5 months, and he's been helping out, smoothing the edges, and in many ways, pleading our case to the universe. I love that as I am saying this, the snow's begun to swirl in a dramatic flurry. Raguel has been a flurry of blessings to us these last months. Thank you, Raguel. Thank you so much. I found an old journal, and in it, I'd written this. This angel holds our hand as we work through trauma. Julie Jancis, in her book Angels and Awakenings, wrote this. When Archangel Raguel steps in, he does not hold the energy of your trigger. He holds the energy of your wound. Wow. Did that hit you square in the heart too? Picturing Raguel holding my wound feels tender, kind, safe, and a giant step towards actual healing. That an angel knows every detail of a point of trauma is just, I don't know, words are escaping me right now. It makes me feel seen. Would I survive to be recognized and acknowledged? When I think of my deepest wounds, that being seen to having survived this, it's enough to bring my true healing into view. I hope that makes sense. How does it feel to you? Does it light the path to 100% healed for you, or is it something else? I can see the other side of the coin, that staring at a painful experience can go from helping us heal to being too big a dose of medicine to the point of poisoning us, or another way to say it is re-traumatizing us. You know you best. You are the expert, and Raguel will meet you where you want him to on your healing journey. What I do know is that I'm glad you are here on earth. I am sorry for any pain or hurts you've endured, and I'm grateful you're here. I picture myself right now holding your hand. You're not alone. I also know there are people that were drawn to the field of therapy because they have deep compassion and empathy, and they're waiting to help all of us, one conversation at a time. Along with a trusted therapist, Raguel can give amazing and fruitful guidance about how to repair a broken or estranged relationship. If you're seeking help to resolve conflicts in your personal relationships or even relationships with coworkers or neighbors, then don't forget to include Raguel on your team. Here's what Doreen Virtue writes in her book titled Archangels 101. Raguel brings harmony to all relationships, including those of friendship, romance, family, and business. Sometimes he instantly heals the relationship, and other times he'll send intuitive guidance to you. You'll recognize this guidance as repetitive gut feelings, thoughts, visions, or signs that lead you to take healthful action steps in your relationships. If you get help resolving conflicts in your relationships with other people, especially if you'd prayed for that help, Raguel is one of the angels whom God may assign to provide that help to you. One of my favorite sources when it comes to angels is the Black Feather Intuitive. She writes this about Raguel. Archangel Raguel is the ultimate archangel of harmony and your personal Jedi Master. He is a fantastic resource for exploring multiple layers of peace and harmony in all aspects of your life. When you need help in overcoming a conflict with a friend or in your relationship, call upon Archangel Raguel for assistance. If you need strength to fight against injustice, or if you're being mistreated and not heard, know that Raguel will be there for you. In times of distress, feel his presence wash over you, bringing calmness and order to any difficult situation. She reiterates what I found out about his name, saying Archangel Raguel's name translates to friend of God, and it's his role to make peace and to provide strength and balance on earth. Not only will he help you find harmony and peace within yourself, but also in relationships with other people. Whether you're healing from past trauma or you're looking to attract more loving relationships to your life, call upon Raguel to guide you in the right direction. As the Archangel of Harmony, Raguel is all about living with integrity and high moral standards. If you've ever been involved in a situation where you felt mistreated or not heard, he'll support you by providing strength so that you can feel empowered and respected. Many of us have encountered some form of dishonesty or gossip at one time or another. Archangel Raguel will help you to steer an honest path so that you may bring justice to an unjust situation. Archangel Raguel is also a wonderful companion, she adds, to those of you involved in helping your community fight crime, poverty, hunger, climate change, racial injustice, and more. He'll always be there to help you find love, compassion, empathy, and non-judgment for yourself and others. Raguel is the leader of a group of angels called the Principalities. This group of angels is widely known to create order in your life. For example, they may inspire you to take on a spiritual practice through meditation, prayer, and serving others. He has a significant role in religious texts. The Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish and Christian text that's not included in the official canon of Scripture, but is considered to be historically reliable, names Raguel as one of 7 archangels who judge all who rebel against God's laws. He supervises the other holy angels to make sure that they are on their best behavior. Although current translations of the Bible don't mention Raguel, some scholars say that Raguel was named in early manuscripts of the biblical book Revelation. An early part of the Revelation that isn't included in current versions describes Raguel as one of God's assistants, separating those who have been faithful to Jesus from those who have not. And here is the passage. The angels shall come forth, having a golden censer and shining lamps, and they shall gather together on the Lord's right hand those who have lived well and done his will, and he shall make them dwell forever and ever in light and joy, and they shall obtain life everlasting. And when he shall separate the sheep from the goats, that is the righteous from the sinners, the righteous on the right and the sinners on the left, then shall he send the angel Raguel, saying, Go and sound the trumpet for the angels of cold and snow and ice, and bring together every kind of wrath upon those that stand on the left, because I will not pardon them when they see the glory of God, the impious and unrepentant, and the priests who did not do what was commanded. You who have tears, weep for the sinners. In current biblical manuscripts, Raguel is considered to be the angel of the church in Philadelphia, who urges angels and people to work together in harmony according to God's will and encourages everyone to remain faithful through trials. Raguel is also linked to the 6th angel, who releases other angels to punish unrepentant sinners, causing destruction on the earth in Revelation 9:13 through 21. In astrology, Raguel is linked to the zodiac sign Gemini. I mentioned that Raguel is part of that rank of angels known as the principalities that focus on assuring order to God's will. Principality angels like Raguel remind people to pray for God's guidance. They also respond to those prayers by sending encouraging and helpful messages to those who are facing challenges. Another specialty of principalities is guiding world leaders to make wise decisions about governing the regions that are under their authority. I've put links to this article and another on specifically how to pray to Raguel in the show notes. I wanted to share some of the signs and symbols that Raguel is right beside you, wishing to be seen by you. Remember, your signs may be different than this, though, so listen to your own gut instinct first. Some may reference symbols of snow and ice to portray him, as this represents that cooling effect for overcoming tempers or difficult situations. Being in Archangel Raguel's presence is said to be supportive, calm, and friendly. He can also provide a boost of energy and strength when needed. By the way, I need to interrupt because it was Raguel. I came back from doing some work up in the mountains and I was sweaty and dirty and needed food. And when I came home, there was an argument happening in the house. And Raguel is the one that dragged me by the nape away from the argument and into the shower. My past self would have wanted to add gasoline to the fire, pitch in and start debating also. But present me does not feed on that crap. It does not. It's not helpful. It wasn't helpful to the situation. And I needed to calm down. So he said, take a shower. And he extinguished the fire in me to do that when I jumped in the shower. Black Feather had more to say, and you'll notice some repeats as well, which I find interesting and subtle differences. That's why I always seek out different research sources and opinions and, channelings even, so that you can see where they intersect and where they're different. Many people associate Raguel with shades of blue and a sky blue or turquoise aura that emanates radiant, positive energy. Raguel often works with us through our throat chakra to open communication or tell us to be quiet in my situation. To help deepen your connection with Raguel, try using crystals such as aquamarine, turquoise, or kyanite, and other blue stones to enhance the experience. She shared a personal story about the first time she connected with Raguel. I want to relate it here, but be sure to check out her website using the link I provided. My first experience with Archangel Raguel, she writes, many years ago, I was in a car accident. An intoxicated man ran a stop sign at high speed and slammed into the car where I was a passenger. I was hit twice from 2 different angles and had to be pulled from the vehicle as my door was inoperable. As I saw what was about to happen, I thought to myself, this could be really bad. I may die. And in that split second, I surrendered to whatever was to be. The whole experience was terrifying. I had many injuries and spent several months in and out of doctors' offices and treatment facilities to recover. The post-traumatic effects of the experience lasted over 2 years before I didn't jump every time a car pulled out to the right of me. Sometimes I still react. I had to pursue legal action because of my injuries, and I wasn't looking to gouge anyone or punish the driver for his poor judgment. I was just looking to cover the medical costs of my treatment and recovery, and I wanted him to get help so he couldn't go out and do this to someone else. The lawyer he hired to represent him actually tried to blame me for the accident, even though I was in the passenger seat of another car with zero control over anything. He took no responsibility for his choice to get drunk and get behind the wheel. He made excuses and tried to use a past injury of mine that was reactivated in the crash to suggest that I was using the accident to pay for something that wasn't his fault. The whole situation was demoralizing. It was unjust. I felt victimized twice over because I was injured due to his reckless actions, and I now suddenly had to defend and explain a previous injury, reliving that trauma None of it was fair. The entire process took a little over 2 years. Within that time, Archangel Raguel came to me, and he eased my frustrations by letting me know that he was on the case. He showed me in a vision the driver's life circumstances and what brought him to this low point, allowing me to find compassion and clarity around his choices, not only with the accident, but with the handling of the legal case. He gave me peace by sharing through a powerful dream the outcome, that I wouldn't get what I wanted, but I would get what I needed, and so would he. His presence in my life during this difficult situation allowed me to release the red tape and hoop jumping and gave me the guidance to follow through with whatever was required to play my part in helping this man get the help he needed. And Raguel didn't let me down. It turned out exactly the way he showed me. I am fully recovered, got my medical bills covered, and was able to forgive the man for his misguided choices. Raguel brought balance to my life when there was none. For that, I'm forever grateful. Isn't that a phenomenal testament to the power of Archangel Raguel? Here's a little more from the internet about this intriguing, just, and powerful angel. The stars in heaven write this about his personality. Archangel Raguel is enthusiastic and friendly, and he's a battery, meaning that he'll energize you when you need a boost. Raguel has been called a best friend who's a combination attorney, spiritual counselor, therapist, and motivational coach, which shows the idea of Raguel's multiple talents and the extent of his helpfulness. Raguel is a loving gentleman who will never interfere with free will. The stars in heaven sees him and his appearance this way, quote, "He is usually portrayed wearing a flowing white robe that cascades down to his feet. The robe is adorned with intricate engravings and intricate patterns that signify his celestial status. His wings are often depicted as being a brilliant shade of blue with feathers that are elongated and gleaming with divine light. Standing at an impressive height, Raguel has a broad chest and muscular build, giving him the appearance of a formidable warrior. His face is strong and angular with sharp, piercing eyes that are often depicted as being the color of gold. He wears a golden crown upon his head adorned with precious stones, which signifies his divine authority." End quote. Archangel Raguel is said to, by multiple sources, to be the angel aligned with those with Sagittarius sun signs. And it's so interesting because Sagittarius, the opposite sign, the lunar sign, is Gemini. So a lot of people associate him with that sign too. But I found this from a Tumblr account I can't help but want to share with you. Who is my guardian angel? They wrote, for Sagittarius, life is a game. And for Archangel Raguel, life is a party because he's the most sociable of all the archangels. His name means friend of God, and his focus is on peace and harmony with everyone in the world. This is just like the friendly, easy to get along with Sagittarian energy. Like its centaur symbol, Sagittarius leaps through life with a zest for adventurous, enjoyable experiences. Wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart, whether it's your sun, moon, or rising, that's where you're willing to take risks. It's the part of your chart that's about having fun and chasing good times without too much thought about the consequences. Oh my God. I'm a Sagittarius, and this is so funny because Sagittarius, I will tell you, we live to share information that we find, share and make the world better. This whole thing about we want to party and not think about the consequences, it annoys me. It annoys me like the description for Leo, which is like they're always looking in the mirror and looking great because they're always on stage. I mean, Leo has a shadow that hates being the focus of people's attention. So I think I'll stop with the Tumblr description there. I wanted to go deeper about Raguel and justice. Justice doesn't come in the forms that we might expect as humans. When we ask for spiritual justice, the results can seem almost too subtle, low-key, and maybe even too delayed for our liking. Slaying the enemy to an angel means something different than killing. It means cutting off ties and tethers that bond someone or something to a dark entity or a relationship they no longer wish to be a part of. It's a cutting away, a releasing of bonds, a freeing. Raguel wants us to remember that love is always greater than hate. Kindness and compassion are always stronger than fear. He gave me an example which cleared up questions I've had for over a year. Here it is. Have you heard of the book of Revelation story about Archangel Michael slaying the devil in the form of a dragon? Raguel told me that work on that has already happened. It occurred years and years ago, and the dragons, they were the victims in this whole mess. They were chained, bound, and enslaved to dark entities at the time. Michael freed their bonds, and now when people reach out to dragons, most resonate at the same frequency as angels. They respond to love much more readily than the fear they'd been controlled with for millennia. They love helping human beings and guarding nature and the planet and all her creatures. It gave me peace of mind because that's how I see and feel dragons, like the angels that have made themselves known to me. They are gentle giants. They are willing to help, just need to be asked. And I always add a harm to none at the end. If you find yourself wronged or at the other end of righteous litigation, which, the black feather intuitive talked about, and I also know that word has 70s television evangelical connotations, the righteousness part of it, but that's the word Raguel set down for me, righteous litigation. Call on Archangel Raguel to help you see your next steps, from finding the right lawyer to represent you, to having the right judge and jury hear your case, to every step in between, and let truth reign supreme so that you receive justice. If you don't mind, I'd like to share a bit more about why the dragons in their story of being miscast and misunderstood resonates with me. I was listening to my favorite tarot reader on YouTube out of Australia. His name is My Soul. It's spelled M-A-I, and he did a reading for us that spoke to me. He said that we've been cast as the villain in other people's stories for our entire lives. And in many cases, with this reading, he was able to see that we've finally made peace with that, and it no longer bothers us or makes us want to pipe up and fight against misperception. We know our hearts and souls. Our guides do too. So does God. And that's all that matters. That reminded me of the dragons, how many still perceive them as all being iterations of Satan or the devil or dark energies, when in fact, like us humans, they are a multitude of personalities. And many were unchained from the darkness by Archangel Michael, like I described earlier. It goes hand in hand with the meditation I did last night. Created and offered by Steve Noble within the meditation, he shares the history of Athena from ancient Greece, and in the telling he mentioned that this was a time when the snake was revered, not vilified, because snakes help control rodent populations, which spread disease. They were also seen as being tapped into infinity. Think of our Ouroboros, the snake seeming to eat its own tail, and also think of the cycle of a snake. They are, then they shed their outer skin, and then they're reborn into new, fresh skin. It speaks of reincarnation and beginning anew. Both those are the antithesis of primarily Catholic churches who want us to believe that we have one shot at life. Either we devote our hearts and souls in the right way, in the perfect way, actually, to Christ and God, or we will be damned to hell. It's a fear-led way to control, and when they mete out the blessings, they too control the power. So all that said, if speaking of the complexities of the dragon and snake resonates with you, I wonder if it'd be fruitful to ask who tends to misperceive you and how you feel about that. There are no right or wrong answers, precious one. This is a journey, not a game to be won or lost. Before I close, I want to share Julie Jancis's wise words again as they relate to Archangel Raguel. She said this: all of life's challenges are delicate and require discernment. Call on Archangel Raguel when you are triggered in life, and he will help you to see the situation from each person's perspective and create boundaries in your life that protect your heart. Know that when you feel triggered, Archangel Raguel does not hold that emotion. Instead, he's able to see the big picture. He can see how every soul has been emotionally damaged. Raguel holds a vibration of peace-filled resolution as he helps all of us heal from our deepest wounds. Finally, she writes this: some have survived major physical and emotional attacks. If this is you, Archangel Raguel does not ask you to relive these, to see the other person's perspective at all, or invite them back into your life in any way. She asks that we do not do this work alone. She says this: please only do this work with a professional licensed therapist, a real person. Raguel too will bring you peace and comfort as you work with a therapist on your past. End quote. These times we're living in require us to do a daily, maybe even an hourly gut check to ask, is this mine or is this someone else's? We may be feeling like communities, people, animals, and nature we love is under threat. Raguel may hold answers for your heart, ways to tend and care in love for them and yourself. And also know that our healing powers are strongest when backed with deep love and empathy for all. Hand over your worries to him and Archangel Michael. They've got this. Thanks for listening to Curious Cat. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. If you like, give us a review so more listeners can find us. Until next week, stay curious. I love you.